You see, it is the actual illogical thinking that it's going to play an important role when it comes to November 2021, and in particular when it comes to you, Aries, because you are going to come across the very interesting situation, and this in itself, it's going to open your eyes, and it will most certainly want to kind of find out and dig a little bit deeper. And this in itself, it's of course going to reflect on you, on your life, on your way of thinking, but most certainly on a really, when it comes to the actual really important point, with your own future planning, this is going to have a quite nice turnaround, because things are, and especially within the last 14 days in November, things are most certainly going to work in your favor, because you are actually, without even realizing, going to make a quite important readjustment in your life. But because this is only going to be the beginning, things are going to work out really, really, really interestingly for you indeed. So what you need to remember, my gorgeous Aries, throughout the month of November, if something doesn't make sense to you, do not rush with anything. Do not kind of jump into the actual unknown. Don't go to make any steps further with any area of your life if you are unsure, if you are uncertain, because I'm telling you that you are actually going to become aware of the illogical thinking, and this is to do with somebody, it's to do with maybe with a few different people, but it's most certainly going to really work brilliantly for you, because later, by the time you come to the actual December 2021, you will see roughly at around the 17th and 18th of December 2021, you are going to go on the next stage of your life where things are going to become even more solid for you. And this in itself is going to work towards an absolutely miraculous opportunity which is about to happen, to manifest in your life. This will be quite important months, but also on another hand, a lot is going to be going on. What you need to do is just simply pay attention to those stages of your life that are making you feel really, really negative, that are making you feel really bored, because when something is making you feel bored, at the same time, this is a rather powerful sign that karmically you should just simply move on. And this is how you will go with this flow, and this is how you're going to most certainly make the most of it, because it's all about the actual us paying attention to the adjustments in our lives that we should make at the right moment in time. If we do this at the right moment in time, I'm not saying oh my God, you need to change this, you need to change that. No, baby, no. But I'm just saying to pay attention to those parts of your life that are making you feel bored. Why they're making you feel bored? Why they're making you feel negative? Because there are going to be lots of little situations that you're going to become aware of, but at the same time, most importantly, remember to read in between the lines, because this is the month of wiseness. This is the month when your eyes are going to be wide open, okay? And that in itself is going to brush up with your own connection with your subconscious mind. So there is a lot that you're going to be feeling, that you're not going to be able to explain, but you will most certainly know that, which next steps you should make. My name is Sasha Bonasin, and I'm a psychic medium, and this is your monthly horoscope tarot card reading, and it's for you, my gorgeous Erini, and it's for November 2021. So this monthly horoscope tarot card focused is for you, my gorgeous Erinis, and it's for November 2021. And when it comes to the actual numerology, your number is number 14, okay? 14. This is a very important number when it comes to your own intuition. It is very important number when you're going to realize that things are coming together, but it's also very important number when it comes to realize the specific part of your life that you need to pay attention to, that you have been maybe neglecting. It's pretty much so to do with an unfinished business, but it's necessary for you to pay attention to this and to realize it's all about the balance, and it's all about staying true to yourself, and it's all about your own patience. Okay, so it's a very important unfinished business, my gorgeous Aries, is most certainly going to require your attention. And this is to do with you, with the missing part of you. This is to do with like the things that you used to do in the past. And it's also to do with a part of you that you've just kind of like didn't pay enough attention to. But it is important because it's an integral part of your own spirituality. And that in itself means a lot, because on another hand, it just basically means that you have to be honest with yourself. If something doesn't make sense, bye bye darling. If there is something that you don't want to do, don't do it. If there is something that you want to do, then do it. But it's important to follow your intuition. What number 14 means, that you are going to have a mind-blowing realization, mind-blowing clarity, which is going to take place at around the 15th of November 2021. And this is important because after that moment in time, in between the 15th of November and the end of that month, I like it a lot, because it's just going to lead towards the actual realization, the answer to a very, very kind of weird, bizarre and strange and rather difficult problem in your life, that is not even so much to do with you, but it's so much to do with like so many things that were happening, and they just kind of like put you in a certain position. So it's just a realization. The first steps that you're going to need to do are going to be connected to this like there is no tomorrow, but it's important because it's about the resolution of the problem that was pretty much so like slowing you down, and you're not even going to realize how much was this actually slowing you down until you release this. And the moment of releasiness is going to happen when you start becoming aware of this resolution. You know, this is important because, you know, when that happens, you will know what to do. I'm not saying, oh my God, an annoying problem is going to come to an end, blah, blah, blah. No, baby, no, not straight away, but you will know what to do. And this is important because your mind is just going to take you like, whoo, really far after that moment in time. And you're going to get to your own personal destinations much quicker indeed. And in fact, by the time you get to the actual April 2022, there is something really big, really huge, really important that it's actually going to take place in your life. So it's about like following this through, but it's also at the same time realizing that sometimes you just have to swim against the current, and so you have to follow yourself. And if something, as I said, doesn't make sense to you, then you just literally have to listen to your intuition. It's about the conclusion. This conclusion is going to be very important because it's at the same time going to bring you a wonderful healing into your life. And specifically the stage in between the 15th of November and the end of that month, it's going to be absolutely remarkable because it's about the fulfillment that you're going to feel, and that is going to increase your vibration. You are, by the time you get to the actual end of November, you know, this is all going to boil down to you finding yourself rather indecisive, but then again you will know that there is a certain compromise that you're going to need to really become a part of. The certain compromise is pretty much so going to be playing an important role here, and that's why this is so significant here, because at the same time, you know, it's about the inspiration that you're going to feel, it's about the vibration that it's going to rejuvenate you, it's about the power that you're going to feel that you didn't kind of see at the same time, but then on another hand, it's all about the actual, you know, the part of your life that was very much so highlighted over the last 12 months, and you know, it just gave you like a really news that you didn't really like, and this at this moment in time things started to go like a little bit negative, a little bit slow, things started to go a little bit down, and then it just like drained so much of your energy, and you found yourself like kind of floating in between, in the middle. But it's just like it happens when we lose our own sense of direction. I'm not saying that you've lost your own sense of direction, but I'm just saying that there are 3 specific points that you're not doing that you should be doing, and they're connected to your past, and they're connected to the last 4 years as well of your life, where you kind of changed yourself without, you changed things, you know, things changed, but then you kind of went around those things instead of following your own path. So these three specific things are to do with you. What do you like to do? How do you like to express yourself? What would you like to kind of achieve in your life? Like what your dream is, you know, where would you like to get, you know, all these bits and pieces have been affected with these three particular things. So you need to work out what are these three specific things that you used to do, that you used to kind of enjoy, even just thinking about it, but now it was like a little bit of disconnection. So this is really important, because on another hand, it's to do with you, it's to do with your energy, and it's to do with you living your life the way you want to live this life, not living this life through the eyes of somebody else or through the wishes of somebody else. It is important to make the steps, you know, in our lives, the steps that we want to make, you know, because this is the ultimate experience of our own spiritual journey, which is going to get back to you like a 10 times, like nicely. It's going to get back to you beautifully, you know, and it's going to bring you the opportunity and energy into your life that you really, really need, that you really kind of are going to be able to see the progress, like, oh my God. I mean, in fact, this reading is so complex that I'm already seeing like that there is something really important that you are going to start up, an opportunity, new path, new idea that is going to take place by the end of the month, but by the end of the month of November, so it can happen at any time. And number 7 is also going to be strictly kind of important when it comes to the timing, okay? So, but also how long is something going to take? Number 7 is important, but it's also quite a sacred number, so you are going to be finding like and realizing lots of little signs along the way. But let me tell you, the bottom line is what you're going to start this month, you know, it's important. So pay attention to what is calling you, pay attention to what is on your mind, pay attention to what you want to explore. It's going to come to you in the form and in a sense of exploration. So when you find yourself a bit of like a kind of like in an explorative mode, this is your sign that you should jump into it. If you don't jump in the water, you're gonna never learn how to swim. Now this is the time for you, my gorgeous Aries, to most certainly jump in the water. This is very important indeed. So within the next 12 months, you know, if you pay attention to kind of what you want to do, it's all about like inspecting the situation in your own vibration, within your own life, within your own energy, by following your own bliss, you know. And there is going to be a lot of that throughout the month, but pay attention to the actual 11th of November, because the 11th of November, it's going to be very, very strong. Something is going to take place, something is going to happen. You're going to find this quite mind-blowing, but on another hand, you will be able to recognize something so important that you wouldn't kind of like recognize before. So this is something that is going to take you back a little bit, but most certainly it's also going to be about this fantastic, absolutely mind-blowing clarity as well at the same time. Very important to remember the 11th of November, and also try to see on the 11th of November especially like what is going to come to you as soon as you wake up in the morning, you know, like not maybe necessarily as soon as you open your gorgeous eyes, but maybe as like about 5 minutes later, 10 minutes later, just something specifically is going to be on your mind, something to deal with, some kind of problem is going to come up, something that you have been keeping behind, you know, something that you haven't been paying attention to, but most certainly this is going to be holding so many secrets for you at the same time. It's actually the 11th, 12th and the 13th. 12th and the 13th of November are going to be just as significant, just as important to pay attention to what this is actually that you should be paying attention to, because there is something in like a really kind of wonderful unfoldment going to be there for you, like a next step, and it's going to help you to connect to your life so vividly that it's going to kind of on another hand be rather beneficial when it comes to the plans for the future, which are going to change slightly, but in the best possible way. It's all about your great determination that you are going to get. You, my gorgeous Aries, when you get your determination, you know, it enhances you, it regenerates you, and it's just like a really kind of like it makes the whole picture so much more powerful, because when you get this such a high amount of determination and inspiration, you are able to do things really, really quickly. You are able to achieve things really, really quickly, and that's why I think that this is a brilliant month when it comes to the actual resolving problems that have been kind of slowing you down, but also when it comes to moving forward. It's all about the determination that you're gonna feel, strength, with this is going to come the great activity, but then at the same time you're going to hear an important news about something that you have been working on, something that you have been trying to achieve, something that you projected so much of your energy. You are going to hear a very good news about it. It's to do with an accomplishment, and this is going to happen at the right time, so it's going to bring even more of this beneficial energy, and then you're going to become aware that you are reaching very, very soon, you're reaching a full circle, and you will see exactly what I mean, because after that moment in time you will find yourself like in an element and mode, you know, to explore even more, even further, and that's exactly what you need to actually do. On another hand, you see how deep the month of November is actually going to be when it comes to you, my gorgeous Aries, because also there was a tower moment that you had, and you know the tower moment, it's all about the actual and unexpected situation that completely kind of is mind-blowing. It throws you back, and it's rather kind of negative because it happens when you least expect it, but then again it just affected you. It affects you in a negative way because it throws you out of balance where you just kind of didn't expect to be thrown out of balance. So you basically had a little tower situation within the last like about 15 months. My god, this is how deep this reading is. Within the last 15 months you had like a little bit of like a tower situation that, you know, it was like to do with like a complete and sudden change, you know, and it's to do with also like kind of it affected you, it affected your relationships, you know, it was like kind of connected to these unexpected events, but then at the same time, you know, this affected your own stability. And why am I bringing this? Because, you know, you are actually that little accomplishment that I said, that I just mentioned, that little message that you are going to have, it's also kind of going to help you to realize that that was probably the best thing that could have happened to you, because you wouldn't find yourself in an element where you found yourself right now, because where you're going to realize yourself that you are heading, you wouldn't be heading if that actual tower situation didn't happen. I know it may sound like a little bit complicated, but most certainly this is going to be brilliant, because it's bringing you power, it's bringing you the realization of accomplishment, it's going to help you to see things in like a really great light. But on another hand, it's all about the confidence that you are going to have and the stability that maybe you didn't feel in a quite a while. You know, you're going to feel this stability. I'm not saying that you felt like, oh my god, like that you're not sure about anything or anything like that, but you will see what I mean by this stability, you know, almost as if you are coming home to yourself. And it doesn't surprise me, because in number 11, it's a very powerful number, it's a very spiritual number, and this is the 11th month of the year, of course, so this is going to reflect on you feeling things from a much higher angle, but not only feeling them but also seeing them. And once you see the picture from a much higher angle, you are able to connect in a much better way and see exactly where and which part of your life you should be kind of projecting more energy towards. Okay, so now, and also, you know what I really like? Because it's also at the same time, you know, it's in between the 10th and the end of November. It's going to be like a very kind of like first of all, you're going to feel the energy. It's going to be different. You will want to do more things. You will be re-energized. But on another hand, you're just going to feel very calm, and you're going to feel different energy. Maybe confusing a little bit, but it's going to be quite good actually, because on one hand, physically, you're going to have a lot of energy, but on another hand, spiritually, you're going to be traveling like, oh my lord, quite far. And this is brilliant. And that in itself, in between the 10th and the end of November, you will see by the time when you realize that you're approaching the end of a very annoying problem, which what I mentioned before, at around that time, before the end of November, very, very unexpected event is going to occur. And that unexpected event in the last week of November, very unexpected event indeed, is just going to kind of remind you, it's going to shake you up in the best possible way, and it's going to remind you of who you are, what you want to do, what your next step is going to be very strongly. So there, the parts of your life that were slowing you down because you were uncertain, most certainly, now this is going to work quite beneficially for you, because what is going to happen, you're going to become absolutely super aware of the actual part of your life that it comes to an end, and you literally need to abandon it, literally literally need to finish it, literally need to stop it, cut it out of your life, because now it's actually causing you to not to be yourself, because it's dragging and dragging and dragging. And this is an element that came to an end. With that, your way of thinking is going to change, but in the best possible way. You're going to find yourself more optimistic, and also pay attention to what is kind of like, yay, making you feel good, and pay attention to what is making you feel excited when you're thinking about the months of December, but especially December. On purpose I said December, not November. When it comes to the months of December, because all those things that you're feeling excited about are going to come somewhere deeply from the very kind of like vivid parts of your subconscious mind, which are at the same time going to be your guiding light, and they're going to be kind of pushing you forward. When it comes to the actual health, my gorgeous Aries, I'm going to say this is rather important yet again. You need to pay attention to your own immune system. You need to do absolutely everything you can in order to boost your immune system. So what I said before, I'm going to say it again. So it's organic acerola cherry powder, organic acerola cherry powder capsules, organic camo powder, organic camo capsules. These are both supplements that are absolutely superb when it comes to boosting your immune system, purely because they're so rich and they're so high in vitamin C. And it's natural. So that every single day, either of those, okay, every single day, alongside natural zinc and alongside natural vitamin D3. And what I highly suggest you to take this every single day. And when it comes to vitamin D, lots of people will kind of think, oh, but I'm in the sun every day. No, baby, no. Even if you're in the sun every day, I still highly suggest you to get a natural vitamin D3 to put it inside your body. Rather important indeed. And on another hand, I know that you need something like, when it comes to your stomach and when it comes to your digestion, try to drink lots of organic chamomile tea. Try to drink like organic dandelion tea throughout the months, because it's going to kind of like really help you so much in order to like even more boost your immune system. But on another hand, when it comes to the actual toxins in your body, it's going to help you to get rid of the actual toxins in your body. Try to also drink as much water as you can, and also try to get something like a natural friendly bacteria. Okay, very important indeed. If you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant, if you're breastfeeding, you just need to check with your doctor. You just need to check with your GP. Only your doctor or GP can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications or not. So now, before I go on the first date, my gorgeous Aries, I highly recommend you to get something like this. Which is a gorgeous black obsidian. Very important indeed to have in November, in December. It has got this wonderful ability to protect you against negative energies, especially when we are realizing a lot, so we can just focus on our own kind of path without letting the energy from outside to affect us. So every time when we are dealing with something important, every time when we are like dealing with people that are bringing us down, but we have to deal with them, every time when we feel like spaced out, every time when we feel like a little bit like a little bit weird, a little bit different, but we all have these strange days, then black obsidian is fantastic, because it helps you kind of like to express yourself in the right way. It helps you to ground yourself, protect yourself, but also it helps you to keep on top of things by choosing and by naturally drifting towards the actual outcome, what you should choose, what you should actually go for, without any confusion. This gorgeous black obsidian comes with sterling silver setting and the sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, you're also supporting my channel as well, my gorgeous Aries. I have to say that. Okay, so the first date, it's going to be on the 3rd of November. Now, the 3rd of November is just a bit of like a temporary distraction that you are going to feel, little bit of temporary distraction, and that temporary distraction, it's actually gonna, it's the 3rd of November that you're gonna feel, but also the 1st and the 2nd of November, something is going to take place, something is going to happen that is going to bring you this particular moment, this particular point where you're gonna have this temporary distraction. So it's important to pay attention to what this is. You're also going to kind of get to know somebody, and you're not going to like this particular side, but then again, it's brilliant, because this is all to do with your own wiseness, and later on it's going to be playing an important role when it comes to you moving on with your life, and that is all going to make sense, so don't you worry. So it's about a temporary distraction that you're going to feel and you're going to become aware of on the 3rd of November, and now that is going to be absolutely brilliant, because that is just going to kind of set you on the path where you're going to kind of find yourself like a really on the certain spiritual journey. So the spiritual journey that you're going to find yourself on, that it's just going to be very strong, strongly highlighted in between the 3rd and the 18th of November. You know, you are going to be provided with an opportunity to advance your life, to advance yourself, but also you need to understand that you need to be brave and have a confidence, because it's pretty much so to do with the step into unknown. But this is a very powerful and important alteration that you would actually make in your life, because it's most certainly going to give you an important progress over the next 9 months indeed. In fact, by the actual 27th of November, there will be an obvious accomplishment already. You know, by the time you get to the 27th of November 2021, there is already going to be an obvious accomplishment, which is most certainly going to have a very strong connection with everything that was happening right now. Okay, sorry, little kitty. Hello, you see this? So cute, isn't it? To me anyway. But yes, so now you just need to remember the 3rd of November. Keep going in between the 3rd of November and the 18th of November. Really keep going, and do not let anything to distract you. Please, please, please. Okay, the next thing that I would like to recommend you would be like a tiger's eye pendant. It's so important for you to wear in November and December, purely because it attracts wealth, it attracts prosperity. It's a very, very clever crystal indeed, because it helps us to kind of express ourselves, to communicate, to talk, to be more successful. It even reflects on our energy and vibration in the best possible way, and on top of that, it helps you so much when it comes to protecting yourself from an evil eye. This is something I would highly recommend you if you're planning something, if you're thinking, if you're like kind of thinking about your future, if you're doing something important when it comes to your work, when it comes to your finances. This is a must, okay, to wear in November and December. This comes with sterling silver setting and the sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, my gorgeous Arinis, you're also supporting my channel as well. The second important date is going to be on the 19th of November. This is going to be like a big mama indeed. You know, the 19th of November is just like, oh my god, such a powerful day when it comes to your psychic feelings, when it comes to your intuition, when it comes to your power from within, because it's about the inner voice and intuition, but it's more about the inner voice. Pay attention to your inner voice, pay attention to your inner guidance, because oh my god, something is gonna come to you, and this is gonna come to you from you just thinking, and just suddenly you're gonna have a moment, oh my god, this is it. You know, on one hand it's gonna be crazy, but on one hand it's gonna be absolutely brilliant. When I say crazy, certain realization may be to do with other people, but then it's going to be brilliant because it's just going to confirm other things to you, but it's most certainly to do with a specific part of your life that you have been wondering, you know, oh, I'm not too sure when it comes to the next step what this is. The blockage is going to be removed when it comes to the next step. This is important. The blockage will be removed. It's the time of wiseness, sound judgment, serene knowledge, you know. It's pretty much so you're going to find yourself being so beautifully spiritually penetrated indeed, and an important emotion that was left behind for a while is going to come up, and all it's going to need from you is to be practical, analytical, and then on another hand, you know, the realization that a big realization by the end of the day that what was like kind of keeping you restrained is going to be connected to it. But the bottom line is, you know, it's just like you've got more resources than you could possibly imagine. You've got everything to make this next step. So this is really important, and that is gonna kind of still gonna make you think, because you're not gonna have all the answers, and all the answers are gonna come to you in between the 19th and the 26th of November, where you are gonna have in between a little bit of a hermit moment, and a hermit moment comes like a big mama at this moment in time, purely because it's to do with you boosting your psychic sense, your spirituality, you drifting even deeper into your subconscious mind. And that means that you're going to be even more psychically aware, and something is just going to come to you, you know, something is going to come to you. It is the time of the spiritual enlightenment that you are going to have. So you will be able to see so much further. So you just need to remember the only way out, the only way forward is to be honest with yourself. Very important indeed. And also that that is going to be followed by somebody's advice, somebody very important to you. It's actually going to give you an advice and confirm this to you, but without even you necessarily maybe talking to them, you know. Maybe you're just going to watch someone or listen to someone, and it's just going to click, it's just going to come to you. So this is something to look forward to, because it's when things are going to become interesting. The third important date is going to be on the 26th of November. Now, my gorgeous Aries, this is all about a very important message that you are going to have about your own success. It's something that you have been waiting for a while, but I really like it because it is just going to surprise you. You're going to surprise yourself. This is a victorious moment in time. You're going to surprise yourself, and it's important because it's just like kind of created a very kind of like a slow and negative obstacle over the last 7 months. So this is going to be a really brilliant moment, but then again, it's going to require from you to put your foot down in a sense of the actual negotiation. So you see, an important negotiation is going to take place here. You're going to become aware that the next step after that, it's going to be negotiation. Sorry, I just need to have a little sip of my tea. And it's not a coffee, you know. It's like everybody's like, you drink too much coffee. No, baby, no. This is Sashita, normalita. No, it's like, it's the herbal tea, you see? See? Can you see it? Oh, it's so good, sorry. I just love herbal teas. So now, I promise it's just a tea. Yes, so basically it's the 26th of November, and now you just need to remember that it's connected to an important negotiation, and this is like, oh my God, it's gonna bring you like a very powerful accomplishment, and it's also later on gonna make you feel really proud of yourself, because on one hand this is gonna bring you like a powerful success into your life, but then this is gonna be rather successful, but then on another hand, you know, where you thought that you were powerless because you felt really powerless, you felt your energy was affected, you know, this brought you down, this made you feel really negative over the last 7 months, you know, this really put you in the place like in the space where you were kind of feeling dark every now and then when it comes to your energy. So this is something that was pretty much so stuck at the back of your subconscious mind, and without even realizing, you know, maybe you didn't even realize how much energy this was draining, you know, out of you. But sometimes only when we reach such important power points in our lives, we become aware of what a damage it actually did to us. So it's all about you feeling kind of like completely like, oh my God, with your hands tied back, and it's like, oh my God, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that. It's like almost like you were waiting and waiting and waiting. So this is more like your own personal liberation moment that you're actually going to have. It's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic, because in between the 26th of November and the end of that month, listen, in between the 26th of November and the end of that month, it's about this opportunity. Very important path is about to open. Very important door are about to open. Please listen to me. This is so important. So sometimes we just have to work a little bit extra, you know, because there is something that is going to start the process of unfoldment and it's going to bring a little tiny change into your life. That tiny change is going to become enormous. That tiny change is going to change your life. That tiny change is going to change everything in the best possible way. It's going to bring you inspiration, but it also is going to bring you such a wise moment when it comes to your own power to start with, so you will be able to feel things and sense things way ahead than you wouldn't normally be able to connect to in such a sharp way. So it's very important that in between the 26th of November and the end of that month, just see what we kind of feel connected to, but it's to do with our path, what we are already doing, for example, but there is one little bit, one little baby tiny little bit missing, and that bit is gonna grow into something huge. It's almost like a chucking little like tiny little seed that you think, oh yeah, it's going to be tiny little baby grass, and it just grows into the massive, the most beautiful oak tree in the forest. This is what I'm talking about, my gorgeous Aries. Important indeed. So now I'm just going to see what to briefly focus on the first part of November, mid-November, and the last part of November. The first part of November, you know, yes, you are going to have a bit of like an unexpected change, but then this is going to all all this unexpected change is going to require from you to take one step at a time, go slowly, have patience, and most importantly, review your options quite carefully, okay? Review your options quite carefully. The mid part of November, just remember, this is a big mama moment. You know, mid-November, it's very spiritual, especially at around the 11th of November. This is the time that when you're like sitting down and you start drifting, you know, there is a lot gonna come to you. Or it's like when you're sitting down and drifting into your sleep, just try to think about a specific problem, specific situation that you would like to get the answer to, and it's just gonna come to you naturally, because your subconscious mind is going to take over like so quickly, like there is no tomorrow. So it's the same thing like when you're meditating, there is a lot going to come to you. If you go outside in the forest, being by the water, by the river, by the sea, all these things are superb and very spiritual. They are nature. We are the nature. We're all part of one another. So you see, that's why we are at our fullest, if you know, when it comes to our spiritual fulfillment, when we are in the nature. So it's just basically any type of meditation that you do, you just remember that a lot of insight is going to come out of it. And also I really like what the end of November is going to bring. You know, somebody who affected you so much, a rather devilish person, you know, the certain mask is going to be fallen. You're going to become aware of that person, but most importantly, it's not going to mean anything because you kind of suspected this. But then on another hand, most importantly, a very positive change is actually going to take place at the end of November, which is going to be connected to the actual sudden progress, but most importantly, it's going to be a step in the right direction indeed. Okay, so now my gorgeous Aries, I'm just going to see what is going to happen for those of you who are in relationships. So for those of you who are in relationship, it's like very important to take some kind of skill on the next level, which means that you both wanted to plan something, you both wanted to you both had some kind of idea, but I don't know, what are you waiting for? So this idea, some kind of a plan, this is brilliant, because every time when you talk about it, every time when you think about it, you just both like almost immediately your vibration grows. So it's something that you should definitely do. This is gonna come up and you're gonna start talking about it as a couple, but now this time, you know, you take this creativity, follow this creativity, because for the first time in a long time, you are both gonna make like a very important necessary step, which would be like the next step, you know, something that you wanted to do for such a long time. I'm not saying you just have to do it like now, do everything, do the whole thing, but just to make the first step, which is absolutely necessary. And after that moment in time, you will both see that the things haven't been kind of like that hard or that heavy. Something is going to seem much simpler, much easier. For those of you, my gorgeous Aries, who are single and ready to mingy, I am seeing like, oh my god, I'm seeing somebody like slowly walking into your life. I haven't seen this card in a long time. We are talking about someone very special who is about to walk into your life, and that person is going to start walking into your life. That person is going to make a really nice entrance into your life in November at around the time when you become aware of the certain justice. So this is going to be your sign. This is going to be your moment. This justice may be personal to do with you, or you may be watching something and you become aware of some kind of justice being taken. You're going to be, yeah baby, you're going to be excited about it. But then at the same time, this is the time when you need to understand that someone very special is about to come into your life. Somebody very beautiful, somebody very different, somebody very significant, somebody whom you're gonna start feeling almost like immediately like a very relaxed as well, but also very harmonious energy in between both of you. You know, almost immediately you're gonna feel relaxed, like more than you would have felt relaxed with other people around you, other people that you would fancy. So that's how you will know that this person is actually going to be different, and it's not even going to be that long until that person walks into your life. Okay, my gorgeous Aries, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I love every single one of you. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light. So I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you, my gorgeous Aries. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye. Mwah.